We're 10 minutes away from joining Dermot Monahan and Julia Somerville at ITN. The latest first from the Granada news team.
Hello to you, welcome to the main lunchtime bulletin from Granada and a look at the stories making headlines this Friday lunchtime. Angry farmers picket a food distribution company in Salford accusing it of snubbing British beef. Fans are to rise to the occasion at Old Trafford tomorrow as they campaign for the right to stand up at soccer matches. Also, how a Merseyside man is overcoming disability to make his mark in the world of art. Very good afternoon to you. Hundreds of farmers have been picketing a food distribution centre in Salford in protest at cheap imports of meat. They say only half the meat the company uses is British. Emily Knowles reports.
A small group of farmers was still gathered outside the Whitbread distribution centre in Salford this morning. 250 of them from across the northwest and Wales converged on the centre in the early hours. They claim that only half the meat served in Whitbread's outlets, which include Pizza Hut, TGI Fridays and Beefeater restaurants, is reared in Britain. They say the rest is imported.
We want from Whitbread an undertaking that they're going to increase the percentage that they're using of British meat. We also want Whitbread to put on their menus in their restaurants and the cafeterias that you're either having British meat or it's come from the Argentine, Australia or wherever it's sourcing it from. So as the public have the chance to make an educated decision.
In a statement, Whitbread says it is working with UK abattoirs and the Meat and Livestock Commission to explore further opportunities for UK beef. The farmers say they'll fight on until they get some assurance from the company that it will change its policies.
The Cheshire MP Nick Winterton is calling on the Home Secretary to do more to protect children from dangerous paedophiles. Mr Winterton says Jack Straw has a duty to take action to prevent paedophiles being released from prison without supervision. He says a loophole in the law needs to be changed so that all child sex offenders can be monitored. The issue will now be raised in the House of Commons as a matter of urgency. Football, and this weekend Manchester United fans are spearheading a national campaign to bring back terracing at soccer grounds, but relatives of those who died in the Hillsborough disaster are opposed to the idea. The protest is part of the first National Stand-Up Day and will be launched at tomorrow's match between United and Arsenal at Old Trafford. One lifelong Red supporter claims the report into Hillsborough never said terracing was unsafe.
What the Taylor report said about terracing was that it wasn't inherently unsafe, that if there were discrete areas with discrete toilet facilities and refreshment facilities, then that could be a possibility. That was totally ignored in the subsequent legislation.
To other news, a hearing into a public order charge against the Manchester rock star Ian Brown has been adjourned. The former Stone Roses frontman was arrested last month following an incident on a plane from Paris to Manchester. He's accused of threatening behaviour. Brown did not appear at today's hearing at Manchester City Magistrates Court. He's understood to be in America. The case was adjourned for a fortnight. There's fresh hope today that a boarded-up Edwardian theatre in the centre of Liverpool can be saved. The curtain fell on the Playhouse back in January. Here's our reporter Jackie Rand.
More recent developments overshadow the faded Edwardian charm of Liverpool's Playhouse. It was the oldest continuous repertory theatre in Britain, but its doors are open to security guards only now. There'd been financial problems for years. It vied for custom with 5 other city centre theatres. Yet once again a rescue package is on the table. The company planning to reopen and rejuvenate the Playhouse is responsible for this. Neptune Development is transforming the adjacent Queen's Square in a £19 million deal. The all-Liverpool company admits it makes good business sense to not have a derelict theatre on the doorstep of the development. But they also admit to a sentimental desire to restore a part of the city's history. Today the City Council gave them the green light. If all goes well, there could be plays again at the Playhouse in 18 months' time.
Relatives of the Northwest sailors who died with the sinking of the bulk carrier, the MV Derbyshire, are launching an appeal to raise £500,000. It follows yesterday's announcement that the government is to reopen the inquiry into the disaster. Maria Gearing reports.
After 18 years of speculation, the families of the 42 crew finally know how the merchant ship sank in a typhoon off the coast of Japan. An animated graphic depicts the last moments of the vessel. In heavy seas, tons of water flood into a hatch, and as the ship sinks, water pressure causes explosions and implosions that rip the carrier apart. The £2 million survey concludes the ship was unprepared for the typhoon. Now relatives of the lost crew have 3 months to submit how they want the fresh inquiry to run. They're appealing for cash to fund the expert advice needed as they prepare for the hearing they believe will finally unravel the truth.
Many aspiring artists, as you know, spend years perfecting their craft, but for one man in Liverpool it's taken extra determination. David Singleton was born with cerebral palsy and does not have the use of his hands, but as Peter Berry reports, that has not stopped him.
50-year-old David Singleton from Clevedon Street in Liverpool 8 has had to improvise in order to pursue his favourite pastime. He uses his foot to draw and to paint. And for David, there are 2 subjects he's particularly keen to commit to paper and canvas, as the case may be.
Landscapes, animals.
David's a student member of the Association of Mouth and Foot Painting Artists. There are just 10 full members nationwide, and David's determined to keep trying to become one of them.
He's full of courage, you know, he doesn't... There are times when he gets a little bit downhearted and you've got to just sort of give him that word of encouragement. But this, that June and Keith, these very good friends of ours, have set up for David has been a tremendous boost for his morale.
David's exhibition at Crosby Library has been extended due to popular demand for another fortnight.
Inspiration indeed. Sport now, and Liverpool's Shane Erie successfully defended his World Light welterweight title last night against fellow Merseyside Andy Holligan in Stanley Park. As our reporter Simon Day says, it was a memorable night as world-class boxing made a triumphant return to the city of Liverpool.
When it comes to sport and hype, boxing's in a world and class of its own, and this title bout fully lived up to its build-up as the so-called knock in the park. Nearly 5,000 crammed into a purpose-built marquee in Stanley Park as challenger Andy Holligan entered, followed by reigning champ Shane Erie. The baying crowd split more or less 50-50 between the two in what proved a highly charged atmosphere. The title won in the 6th round after an epic battle when Holligan, despite having the greater experience over Mersey rival Neary, succumbed. Despite the initial respite, he didn't really recover, the ref eventually stopping the contest.
I sparred with Andy 5 years ago when he was British champion. I just turned pro. And he did, he hit me and he hurt me. And I pursued as a boxer, and tonight I beat him. But, you know, I'd take my hat off to Andy. I give him total respect. And the fella, you know, he's a great fighter.
I want to give a special thanks to everyone in Liverpool that's backed this fight and everyone who's made this possible. And there's going to be many, many more nights of this.
Andy Holligan now left to consider his future.
That's the way the news looks so far. In Granada tonight this evening, Paul Crone is in deep water, looking at a scheme to raise the very first powered submarine off the coast of North Wales. Also, we'll be repeating all 5 questions to win a trip to Disney's Animal Kingdom in Florida and meeting some young conservationists with a badger. So join us 5 to 6 for now. Bye-bye.
Granada weather, sponsored by First Choice Holidays, for a tropical choice.
The satellite shows clear skies across much of Britain, but it's unable to pick out extensive low cloud that is covering many areas and has been moving in from the northwest. A mainly cloudy afternoon with drizzle around coasts and over higher ground. A few brighter spells are possible, temperatures 10 or 11 degrees Celsius in a light to moderate and northwesterly wind. Cloud will thicken again tonight with more drizzle, low cloud and misty conditions over high ground, temperatures falling to 6 or 7 Celsius.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update, sponsored by First Choice Holidays on 0891 559977.
So let me get right to the point. This is the life. No wonder the air crews love their jobs. But anyone who calls them trolley dollies, I'm going to smack them right in the mouth. Welcome the new recruits.
Going to be transformed tonight.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is working with the gay stewards. Just leaves all the rest of the girls there for me.
There's the characters that make an airline. Then there's the passengers.
I want that man sacked.
Airline followed by the bill. Tonight from 8 on ITV.